Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to Camisora TV at youtube.com. I'm Camisora. I'm in the rank 1 guild on Nordrassel called Evolution. Thanks for the invite, guys. In this channel I'm basically going to be bringing you Holy Priest tips, going into 4.3 Dragon Soul, and also some tips just about the basic Holy Priest in general. A few stat priorities, how you should reforge, how you should gem, etc. Even if you're not a priest and you still like World of Warcraft, you can also subscribe to my channel to see priest POV boss kills from my guild. We should be hitting Heroic Dragon Soul pretty hard, so if you want to see some things, some fights, some mechanics, maybe even some strategies and stuff like that, you can check that out all here. I'll eventually get all that stuff up and running. However, like I said, we're going to be getting more into the 4.2 Holy Priest in this video, as well as an in-depth look at the changes being made in 4.3 for priests. Alright, so let's get this video started. Hope you enjoy. Alright, so let's jump into the 4.2 stat priority for the Holy Priest. Obviously, Intellect is the most effective stat for a Holy Priest. Spirit will obviously give you mana back, mana regeneration, combat regen, etc. Haste needs to be at 12.5%. It gives Renew an extra tick. And then after you're at 12.5, you can either stack Mastery or Haste. It's mostly just preference. I personally enjoy Haste. Right now I'm sitting at around 20% Haste. It makes my heal cast time 2.08 seconds, which is relatively fast, especially if you're raid buffed. Of course, the 2.08 second cast time is unbuffed. So when I'm in a raid, I sit at around just under 2 seconds, which gets my heals per second anywhere from 12k heals per second to 13k heals per second, just spamming heal. As far as reforging goes, you're going to need to increase your spirit. So any gear without spirit, you can reforge crit into spirit. If you're not already at the 12.5% haste, then you should be reforging crit into haste. After you've hit your 12.5% haste and you are just basing all your reforges off of preference, then you can go ahead and choose whether you want to stack your crit into more haste or mastery. Like I said before, personally, I reforge most everything into haste for that decreased cast time. For gemming, if it's a red or blue socket, I do the Purified Demon's Eye, which is plus 20 intellect, plus 20 spirit. And of course, if it's red or yellow, I use 20 intellect, plus 20 haste. If your preference is mastery, then you use Artful Ember Topaz, which gives you plus 20 intellect and plus 20 mastery rating. I'm not going to go a great deal into the enchants, but I will put a link in the bottom bar of my armory. If you want to go ahead and copy all of the enchants that I have, you can do that, but I'll go ahead and tell you right now, you will need, if you haven't already, to get exalted with Hyjal and Therzane. Alright, moving on to glyphs. Your prime glyph should be Glyph of Lightwell. This increases the amount of charges your Lightwell has, so as long as you're in a good raiding guild that know how to click the Lightwell, this is very beneficial. Your second prime glyph is Glyph of Renew, and it increases the amount healed by your Renew by an additional 10%. Then last prime glyph you should have is Glyph of Prayer of Healing. This glyph basically also heals an additional 20% of its initial heal over 6 seconds. My major glyphs are Glyph of Circle of Healing. It heals one additional target. Prayer of Mending is my second major glyph. It heals your first charge for an additional 60%. And then Glyph of Mass Dispel reduces the cast time of the massive spell by 1 second. And then minor glyphs, obviously Fortitude, Shadow Fiend, and Levitate. Glyphs are basically preferential. You can play around with glyphs. I personally have them all bought. I have a really good friend that's an inscriptionist, so that was easy for me. You can just play around and see what you like best, but I found this is the most cookie cutter build, and it works the best for me. I enjoy it. Alright, last but not least, we're going to go over the single target rotation for a Holy Priest. You should always have Renew be on the target at all times. If you're spec'd right, your heal, which is your main heal, any direct healing, will replenish the cooldown or the duration of Renew on your target, so you never really have to spam it if you're main tank healing. Heal should be your go-to spell. A lot of priests have mana problems because they spam flash heal or they spam greater heal. Heal should be your go-to spell. If you find that it's not healing hard enough and your tank is dying, maybe you're under-geared, or perhaps you don't have enough spirit and you're not able to spam them fast enough. You should be using Holy Word Serenity every time it's up. Greater heal, you should only use greater heal if your target won't be overhealed, and only use flash heal to proc Serendipity, which gives greater heal a buff and decreases the cast time on greater heal. So basically, just remember to keep Renew up on the target, go to heal as your main heal, and use Holy Word Serenity every time it's up. Holy Word Serenity also gives a healing buff to the target it's on, so it'll make your heal spell it'll make your heal spell heal for larger amounts. As for multiple target AoE rotations, obviously you can use Holy Word Sanctuary when people are stacked. Use Prayer of Healing a lot. Usually I find myself just spamming it. Circle of Healing, you can use this. I only use it usually when I'm over 50% mana because it takes a lot of mana to use it, and it makes me go a lot when I just don't notice I'm even pressing it. And of course, Prayer of Mending. Usually Prayer of Mending is my top heal. It's really good. Try to only spam it on main tanks because they'll get hit. Obviously they'll get hit a lot more than anyone else in your raid, as long as they're doing their job right. In every encounter, you should be seeing yourself use these spells. These are raid cooldowns that are very effective to any raid. Guardian Spirit, Lightwell, Hymn of Hope, and Shadow Fiend. Obviously, Hymn of Hope and Shadow Fiend are used to regain mana. Normally, I like to use Shadow Fiend when Heroism or Bloodlust is present, because the more times that Shadow Fiend hits, the harder it hits, the more mana you gain back. Hymn of Hope should only be used upon the raid leader's request, and Lightwell should be used before you start the encounter. That way you can cast your Lightwell, get all the mana back, and it's like a free heal. It's also one of the best heal over time spells in the game. Guardian Spirit, which is going to be buffed to compete with Pain Suppression 4.3, which we'll get into later, is a really nice cooldown, especially when the tank is taking a lot of damage, or in certain encounters when maybe they forgot to drop their stacks of a stacking damage debuff or something, and they forget to drop it, or it just doesn't happen, it's not dropped. You can pop Guardian Spirit on your target and get them to full pretty easily. Alright guys, thank you for watching. If you have any questions, you can email me at camisoratv@gmail.com, or just put a comment down here. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks for watching, subscribe, and we'll get more into the 4.3 aspect of Holy Priest in the next video. Peace.